So let's stick around what you call the major marketers. They have a body. Of course, it's not new for those of you who are in the business, perhaps. It's by the acronym MOMAN, the executive secretary. So Bafem is here in the studio to talk to us for a few minutes in this segment. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Bosun, for having me.
I'm sure, but let's start from what is very, very current with the security agencies chasing what you call militants, whether they are oil bunkers, whether they are oil thieves, the backwaters of Lagos, Arepo, and the rest of them, Ikorodu axis. Sitting down as the executive secretary of MOMAN, what are your concerns from those of you who are the big boys in the business, the big seven, if you want to put it?
Yeah, with respect to the vandalism and outright stealing, our concern is some of the oils might find their way into the market, and a large quantity may be adulterated, which is a big problem for those of us who are doing clean business. Because once it is adulterated, you never can tell. Somebody buys half a tank of fuel, and then comes to you, fill up, and then there's a problem, and he doesn't know where to locate the problem. He will just go to the easiest source and say, I bought fuel from you. He would have forgotten that he had actually bought some bad fuel from an earlier customer. So it's a big problem. And good enough, we are seeing the results of the actions of the security forces, and we believe that they will soon get them out of the way.
How much of this does bother you, those of you who are major market operators?
Yeah, we are really bothered. Really, we've not sat down to look at the numbers, but you know, when you look at some fuel stations selling below 145, two questions arise. Is the one below 145 as a result of pumps they have tampered with, or as a result of bad quality? And that is where the policeman in the industry, DPR, has to come in and then check. I know that they may not have enough personnel to check every retail outlet, but they should go out and do some random checks here and there to be able to confirm that those selling below 145 are actually selling good fuel, both in quality and in quantity.
I've seen 140, I've seen two retail outlets, independents, advertising 140. One of them actually I posted on social media, on Twitter. My Twitter account says we're giving back to the community. We're selling at 140. And I got a number of folks who says, look, they have similar experience, but it's because you either been cheated, that the pumps have been tampered with, as you said, or perhaps it's a low, bad quality product they're selling to consumers.
Yeah, that's the suspicion. Even though at 145, eventually, one would have expected prices to start tumbling. So coming down below 145 shouldn't be a strange thing. But when you consider the typical the behavior of the businessman at the lower level, you have to get DPR to do their work, to be able to be confident that they are really selling good fuel and in the right quantity.
Are there concerns that petrol prices could go higher because of the currencies market, naira-dollar relationship?
You see, there's a counterbalance. The currency is going up, but the prices of crude are dropping, which means that the price of petrol in the international market would also drop. So it depends on which one drops faster or rises higher. You cannot really say that the price of at the retail pump, the price may go up. One has to look at it very carefully before one gets to that conclusion.
The last 145 was around 280 naira to the dollar.
Yeah.
We're looking at significantly above 300 right now.
Yes.
So you think that can counterbalance with crude oil coming down from 50 to 40, thereabout?
The counterbalance may not be on equal basis, but I believe that it has some significant effect because remember that, and I want to say it openly, remember that a lot of the fuel we're getting comes from NMPC, and they get their dollars at the official rate. They assist us with some dollars also at official rates. So we are not yet playing in the region of the 400 to $1, not yet, because we don't have the muscle, so we are largely dependent on government. The only fear is that if we don't get the dollars on time and NMPC has difficulties in importing, then there might be a squeeze on the supply.
Some of your members are making good money.
I don't know about that.
Well, if you look at the numbers from the stock exchange where a number of them are listed, Forty Oil, Mobil, Total, MRS, they're reporting good quarterly, half-year profit because things are looking good. Yes or no?
You know, when we trade in white fields and black fields. Mainly the black fields aren't regulated. They are deregulated. So you can have full cost recovery and make some decent margins. But on the white side, the petrol, which is highly regulated, you're not making anything there. The increase in margins are usually swallowed by other demands. And don't forget that we also have lubricants. Okay? But all said and done, the squeeze in the FX market is a big challenge to us. So whoever is making profit is making profit from so many areas combined. And, Kiyosaki says, if you have a property that you bought 10 years ago and you revalue it now, and it gives you a false sense of profit, that is not real profit, So, I don't know. I've not looked at the figures, and I believe you. So maybe they are making some good money, but I don't think it's good money that is sustainable, because we are struggling not to tamper with our staff strength.
Of the oil majors?
Oh, yes.
So what are the challenges you face? Because you're trying not to tamper, in other words, not to go for staff reduction.
Yeah.
So that you pay salaries, people have their livelihoods, but you also need to make investments in the sector in which you operate. Do you have any money? Do you have any fund anywhere to invest in infrastructure within your business space? Are you?
Unfortunately, the items that you use in expansion are mainly imported. Yes, we could have the naira, but where is the dollar? That is the biggest challenge we face now. And just think about it, one scenario. You import, you open your LC at the level of, say, 300. And then comes the time of liquidation of the transaction, and it is at 400. How do you bridge the gap? So it's a very serious, the FX market somehow should be funded at the official rates. Official market should be funded enough so that we all can go there and play legitimately, instead of looking for ways of going to the black market. At 400, it's going to be difficult to even sustain 145. So that's why we don't go there. That's why we all depend on NNPC, government, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the IOCs, and I think for now, life is going on.
But it's a little bit difficult.
Not a little bit. It's difficult. It's difficult. But government is trying, but I mean, if you're talking of deregulation, that is, we are moving gradually towards deregulation, then we should allow government to hands off. But some of the policies are not friendly.
Okay. We will continue that conversation some other day. We thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Mr. Bafemi Olawore, Executive Secretary at Moment. That's the acronym for the major oil marketers in Nigeria. We're back into